That's the problem. There we go. I fixed it. Pog. While saying that, we should be live. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. I'll post the link real quick and then we'll actually get started this time. I promise. I don't know why I don't know why YouTube streaming is like this, because I've never had these kind of issues with Twitch. Anywho, doesn't matter. YouTube. Poicast is live. There we go, there we go. We got it going on like Stacy's mom. I think we got it good. Good, good, good. I see good across the board. Fucking fantabulous. Let's see. Do we have everyone? Lightning Cat has repeatedly asked to join me. I thought I sent them a message that's like, ooga booga. No. Have you tried opening your eyes? I don't have eyes. You have eyes? The fuck are you doing here? At this point, I don't know. At the Twitch chat. I feel like doing it on, doing all that jazz on YouTube makes more sense to me. I love Twitch, don't get me wrong, but I don't like splitting the audience too much, and I feel like doing it on YouTube just overall makes a lot more sense. You may have less, what's the word, influx of new people, but that's not really something we care about anyway, so in my opinion, this works out pretty well. But we'll get this started pretty quickly here. Estlo's got some stuff to bring up, talk about, show off, and then we can, you know, go through and talk about what's going on, general jazz. You guys get the idea. So looking at it, we got a few things. I would like Estlo to go first, but as you can see, I'm in a pretty spiffy looking model. It's pretty fucking cool, man. It's a big ol' fucking priest. It looks awesome. I don't have this written down in the notes to talk about, but I'll bring it up and talk about it anyway. So we had a VR chat wedding yesterday. It was between Kork and Smeku. It's roleplay, of course, but that was a lot of fun. And my dumbass was the priest, and the ceremony was great. We had, I think we capped out at 60-something Hapus, maybe 70. But yeah, there were so many fucking people, the servers were dying. People couldn't see each other at some points. People had to reconnect. That's crazy to me, man. So many fucking Hapus. It was a great time. And as always, it was full of jank, full of dumb shit, and it was awesome. So I do believe this model's public. I think it's in, what the fuck is that world called? The Void map. It's either on Mogo's or MX's account. I forget. What is this? I have been messaged. I'll look at that later. But yeah, so there is a pretty long list of things to talk about, but we'll wait for Estlo to, you know, come do his thing before we go on to any long topics or anything that's too serious. But yeah, while saying that, hey, thanks for joining the podcast. If you have anything that you'd like us to talk about, there's a suggestions channel, and I'm more than happy to talk about stuff. Estlo has arrived. Hello, Estlo.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Sure. You might want to mute me in Discord.
That's fine.
It's a good idea.
Here's my Discord. You see, I'm blind.
Let's see. You're blind? Are you me? Let's see. Hello. I see a VX in chat. A Jarno, a Katori. Yo, return to monkey. Do it. So, Estlo's gonna bring up some stuff. Once he's done talking and we've gone through this part, we're gonna talk about a lot of shit. We have community stuff to talk about, whether that's ours or other groups. We have, what else to discuss? We have Avatar World, Quest Avatar World, some development stuff to talk about. We've got 3 of our own communities to talk about, not counting the one behind us. And what else? What else? I do have stats. We'll talk about that in a little bit, though. So, hello. Welcome to here.
I have arrived, yes.
You have arrived.
Yes.
You have an idea of where the camera can see basically everywhere behind us. The whole board and all that. So, what are you here to show us? What are you here to talk about?
That's the thing. The original plan was that Ultra would be here as the events overlord to help.
Oh.
My first time on this map, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I have no clue on where Ultra is right now. I don't see him online. I haven't seen him in Discord.
Bruh.
So I believe
He's playing
Dream
Monster Hunter
and
right
Daedric.
now. Well, that's always great. God bless you, Ultra.
Give me a second. someone ping, please.
Someone
Ping
bitch
them
at
out.
Ultra.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right? Playing
Where is
something out
my-
and that happens. Oh well, shit happens. But yeah, ping him. I'll go through the stats while you get that shit sorted out. So, let's talk about some statistical horse shit. Everybody's favorite. So, let's see. We'll talk about the original world first. Holy hot mother of Jesus fucking Christ. That's, so, Hapu Foundation Avatars is at
no.
98,000 visits. Almost 3,000 favorites, and the heat on the map is through the fucking roof. That is just insane. Almost 100,000 fucking visits. The world's barely been up, what, a year now, I think? That's crazy to me. Hapu Foundation Avatars B, which is the world that we're currently in. It was just published last night, or this morning? Last night or this morning, I don't remember. One or the other. I'm pretty sure I posted it at like 7 a.m., I think. But yeah, so that one's got 292 visits already, 19 favorites. Its heat is a little low. But I think it's still in labs, I believe. So hey, if you want to fucking check out the world, there are new avatars. The world is completely changed in a lot of respects. It's a lot of fucking fun, man. Thank you to fucking Spydo if you're listening. We'll talk about the world in more detail later. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so there's stats for Avatar World B, which is the one that we're in. The original Avatar World, and then Hapu Hangout. Hapu Hangout's got 202 favorites, 9,800 visits. Still fucking hot, man. People love that world. Hapu Foundation Avatar's Quest is at 800 favorites and 16,000 visits. It was labs yesterday and published yesterday, apparently. So, Pog, that place is going through the fucking roof. Jesus. Well, fuck. So there's the statistics for all of the worlds. Now, there are a couple that I could have brought up, some older worlds, but that's not really important. Nobody gives a fuck about the old stuff. While saying that, Eslo'll still be doing his thing. I see no Ultra, so I can go through the list if you need time.
Yeah, you start beginning. I'll ping people.
Yeah,
And
ping
start
people. Well, we talked
being
about
annoying.
stats. Yeah, just bitch at them. We talked about stats, so let's talk about the Avatar world. So I'll move around and show it off a little bit. But so Spydo is the one who did most of the work. I just told him what to do and what I wanted. And I did do some development on here, like I placed all the horse shit, but he fixed a lot of it. He did scripts and he fixed a lot of it, optimized a lot of it. He essentially picked up where I couldn't do it, and he deserves pretty big credit. It's fucking great, man. This shit's optimized to fuck. The world itself runs really well, and I have had no issues with it since. We've done pretty decent testing, and ultimately I've had no issues with large amount of connections or small amount. But while saying that, hey, what do you guys think about maybe instancing islands? Now, this is a concept that I'm pretty heavily against, but Spydo keeps bringing it up. The way that this would work, essentially, you wouldn't have all the avatars, you wouldn't have all the Hapus around holding islands. They would be in their own instanced area. Essentially, all of the islands would be their own little world, if you will, inside of this world. I'm not a fan of that idea personally, because I really love the layout we have, but it would optimize things, and it's a suggestion. So think about it, and let me know what you guys think about maybe optimizing the world in that way, or leaving it how it is, you know. But while saying that, let's talk about this world. So behind us, We have the fucking board to get in the server, you know, it's got the Discord. I added a credits section, basically shows, you know, who's helped on the world. World developers, SpiduCat, then myself. World creators, Payne, than me. Helpers, Xander, and MX. So yeah, and as you guys can obviously tell, there's a little bit more going on than just that jazz. So we might have this Discord wall, but you'll notice, hey, there's some fucking Hapus that we didn't see before, and there's some fucking Steves too. There's a lot of little changes, but I'll go to the center so you can see the background. Ash's Moth is chilling over there, staring at us. Fucking Lunar and Rang's fucking midget models back there staring at us. The fucking update to the conversion island is there in the mouth of a Steve. We'll probably in the future change buttons to maybe, well, not even to maybe. There are more plans for this world, but for now this is how it's going to look. But we'll talk about plans for that stuff later. But yeah, conversion island. Big ol' Hapu. Oh. I've just realized that my play space is not quite right. Anywho, so yeah, you'll also notice some other things. There's, it's a little hard to do this with how I have it set up. You can look in creation, or you can come to the world yourself to see how this looks, but all the Discord icons, all of the group pins, everything associated with the foundation is now in this world. So, for instance, you see East up there. Fucking CVR is dead, by the way. But yeah, fucking, there's the logo for East, there's the logo for our quest, there's the second logo, the original logo is vibing up there, and then we have several other logos as well here from all of our communities, all of our subgroups. The police subgroup is up there, I mean the APD's up there, and then VUA's logo, the new one, is up there. And then I've been debating what the fuck to do with the Hapu Society subgroup, and I've rewritten what it's supposed to be, and I'm not going to talk about that now, but I actually have a good purpose for that subgroup now. So, talking about all this shit, there do be a lot of changes. You know, there's a bunch of Steves, which weren't previously there, and I do want to incorporate them more into our lore, which is something that we're actively working on, actually, that I'm actively working on. But I'll show you guys some of the changes. Wow. So, the conversion island, what's going on here? It's pretty much the same, but you might notice there do be some fucking models staring at us. There do be a big ol' moth, there do be a big ol' fucking midget fennec, and then there do be a police officer. But you start looking around and you're like, wait a minute, what else has changed? And then you fucking turn around and then there's a giant ass fucking Hapu fucking holding a giant ass fucking Steve, and then you go farther back with the camera, fucking, you can't see it on the camera, but there's a giant ass fucking midget Hapu standing on top of it with another Steve. I fucking love it, man. All of the pedestals are also updated. Now, I had some complaints about the pedestals, only from one person actually. Nobody else has complained about them so far, which is kind of surprising. But one complaint was that there are no names associated with the models on the pedestals. Now, I did that on purpose. I didn't want any of the names on there. I like the mystique and the, what's the word? I like how it is right now. You know, less information in this circumstance, in my opinion, makes more sense. But if you guys don't like it, that's always something that can be changed. But we can respawn and keep looking around a little bit more. So, as you can tell, the avatars, that's fine. As you can tell, the avatar board has changed. Now, I had a couple people, I think it was only one person again, actually, ask me about the avatar buttons and all that jazz. The reason I have it spaced out like that, there is no particular reason, I just liked it. I know a few people, no, I keep saying a few people, I think it was just one person who asked that. I like the layout, and I'm a fan of it. But if you guys don't like it, of course, we can always talk about it. So each one of these islands are unique in some way, shape, or form. There are different Hapus holding each island. So some of them are represented by their main models or otherwise. I'll give an example of, is MX Island working? Okay, Pog, it is. So there's MX's model on MX's world. There's our, this is not the updated base, But there do be our Hapu behind us, which, by the way, there is an updated version of that base. I was sent it by Neko-san. It looks fantastic. We'll play around with it later. But there's also a secret or two hidden in the world, and there were a lot of changes. Like, for instance, I don't know how I can get this in view. There's a giant fucking soul catcher in the sky, the same fucking shader that I use for my personal avatar. I like the idea. You can't really see it well here because I don't have the camera set up properly. Can I get a shot of it? Ah, I'll get one. There we go. So, yeah, I really like the idea of it being kind of like, you know how in Draconic Evolution you have that like giant fucking like power storage? I kind of think of that as like a soul storage. Spidey wants in. Okay, fuck it, Spidey. I said you could come on, so why not? But yeah, so there were a lot of other minor changes to the world, like optimization-wise. I think this world was 500 megabytes before optimization. Now it's at 20. I did some of the initial optimizations, but Spidey ultimately finished it off and got it to where it is. But, there's a little Spidey. Welcome to here.
First time it was 100 megabytes.
100 megabytes, that's right. Okay, I couldn't remember. Well, Spidey do be going. Well, Spidey, want to talk about the world or anything in particular? Because we've already gone through a little bit. Anything you want to bring up?
I probably want to talk about optimization. Like,
go for it.
People we really want to see other islands or want to make it one rendering one.
Okay, I brought that up earlier. Essentially, the TLDR of it is, do we want each island to be by themselves without all of the other models being able to be seen or present, or do we keep the current layout of the world? Now, I've already said my piece about it, but, you know, you want to talk about it more, bring up the different points?
Probably not.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Just remove every model.
Well, Spidey wants to remove all the models. He wants to make the islands their own thing. I personally don't like that idea, but we can talk about it, discuss it. If multiple people, you know, think this or that, then, you know, we can talk about it and see what works, what doesn't, pretty much. But,
polygons, by the way.
Say again, sorry?
3 million polygons, by the way.
I know, right? Well, you know, optimization be damned. I'm not a Nazi about optimization for a world. That's the least of my concerns. At least at this stage. So, while saying that, Estlo, have you gotten anybody, or are they still being janky little midgets who can't fucking remember shit? Oh wait, I'm talking about myself now.
That too, and about other people, including me, but in this particular case, from what it turns out, Ultra is going to sleep soon, and we didn't tell who was going to be the presenter.
Bruh.
So this is kind of a failure on the entire
Well,
team.
Okay, then what we can do...
Apply.
Oh yeah, that's true. We do be understaffed in that regard.
Everything else, Dream hasn't shown up in the VCs. Nuclear Cow didn't want to be on the Poicast, so
okay, so what we'll do is... Sorry, keep going.
I already did the pictures for Daedric, but in theory Daedric would be present and could showcase his avatar once.
Okay, so what we'll do a separate, smaller event instead of the Poicast. I think that's what we'll do.
Afterwards then?
Yeah, probably. Let's talk about that after the podcast. So I'll keep going and talking about stuff. Now, the Quest World was published. I was going to take us there, but I think for now I won't do that. But, yeah, the Quest World was updated, published. It's fucking awesome, man. We got to check it out. I don't want to check it out on Poicast, though. But, yeah, MX has been doing a great job as... jeez, I keep almost burping. Shoot, acid reflux go bear. But, yeah,
did you talk about crashing?
Crashing? I mean, we tested it, and we haven't had a single crash yet, so I don't know what crashes you had. But, hey...
When people talk about probably crispy.
Beats me. But we'll bring that up. So, if you're having any issues with the world and crashing, let us know. Now, I've done pretty extensive testing, myself with friends, different groups of people coming in, and we haven't had any issues, but Spidoo's brought up the point that apparently it's happened. So if you have any issues with that, let us know. And back...
Probably because of broken AMX avatar, maybe that was the reason.
It's possible. MX's shit is now fixed, though. A brief TLDR of MX's situation. His account was hacked the same way that, you know, that client going around that searches databases for passwords? That happened to him. He got his account yoinked. He's unbanned now, but there was a whole thing for a day there. But all is good in the hood. So let's talk about worlds real quick. Quest, Avatar World, it is up to date, as I said earlier. It's published. MX has done a really good job as, you know, our Quest overlord for development. It's fucking awesome, man, because now we can actually accommodate Quest in a higher capacity than we currently are. Now, we are looking into Quest in a more, what's the word that I'm looking for here? We're looking into how we can do Quest better and how we really need to be handling Quest raids. I really like my idea of how to handle Quest raids, but... you know, I feel like maybe that's not the best way to handle Quest raids. Now, I'm not going to bring up the system here. If you already know what I'm talking about, then great. If not, hey, don't worry about it. But we're probably going to rework how Quest raids work to be more like our actual normal raids. And we'll see how it works. You know, we're playing around with a couple different styles. But we'll see. Now, while saying that, we do fully intend to support Quest, at least Quest raids. Maybe not on the main world, but they will be separate from our normal raids. We will have separate staff for the Quest raids. Now, people have asked me why not just have Guardians for Quest raids or otherwise. I feel like making a distinction between the two is very important because they are drastically different. The environments are so very different. The temperament for Guardian doesn't really apply to Quest. It's a very different situation. It's a very different reality, if you will. So the way to handle it is very different just in general. And having specialized group for Quest over normal raids just makes sense to me. So there's a situation with Quest. We will support it in a bigger capacity in the near future, but we are horribly understaffed. We're one of the bigger and most active communities in our sphere. There's not very many communities as active as us or as large as us. And we, in general, are pretty understaffed, sorry. We need more staff for moderation, need more guardians, need fucking wardens, we need more people on the events team. But we're going to talk about all that stuff in a little bit. So there's the deal with the Quest world. Now, let's talk about the other communities real quick. So, what's the situation with Hapu Foundation East, the Chill Out VR branch of our community? Well, the short and sweet of it is Chill Out VR is fucking dead. Now, I don't mean this in a bad way or a way against CVR or otherwise, but I'm gonna be real with you. The Chill Out VR community kind of killed themselves. It wasn't the most friendly towards VR chat. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the interactions I had over there were very hostile towards VR chat, and I think the community kind of killed themselves. That's how I felt about it. But, you know, the devs were cool people. I met a lot of really cool people. But last time we checked, there was an average of 15 people online. That's not a game. That's not a community. Just playing in our VCs, we have more active people than the entire game. So you can see why we're not actively supporting Chill Out VR in any large capacity like we really wanted to. I really wanted to get events going, and I really wanted to make CVR a potential competitor, in a sense. But ultimately, it's just not going to happen unless... hell, I don't know what would bring CVR back at this point. I know they keep saying Newton is going to make a big deal, but I've been hearing about this is going to be, you know, the big thing. This is going to get people, this, that, this. It's been a long time, man, and I haven't seen any major improvement. So for now, Hapu Foundation East should be considered an inactive community that is not being supported. Now, it is still a foundation community. We're just not going to be actively doing stuff in it. If the situation with Chill Out VR changes, then we might change that as well. But as it stands, there is no reason for us to be supporting Chill Out VR in any large capacity. Now, we can still do events and still do activities there, but expect very minimal activity there. Now, let's talk about the Abyssal Police Department. So the APD is primarily being developed by Estlo and myself. Me doing the majority of the lore and figuring out how that shit works. So I haven't been actively working on it for a little bit. I've been putting some attention here and there, but there are a lot of other things that have been taking my attention, which we'll talk about some of it too. But so the APD will be supported. The issue right now is finishing the mandates, which I've reworked how the guidelines are going to work. I've reworked how essentially the majority of the structure is going to work. Now, this was a while ago, so you should be up to date on how all that shit is. But, yeah, so the APD's coming slowly. Oh, fair enough.
Slowly.
Very slowly. Now, I have been asked about the
It's just
APD.
Windows.
That happens. I've been asked about the APD by multiple different other community leaders, especially recently. And I'll give you the same response that I gave to them. You know, we're working on the APD, and it may have been in development for about a year now, but ultimately it's primarily been me working on it for a lot of the time. And the same way with a lot of other developments that we have. So I have been delegating and things have been getting done, but certain elements of the APD I have to do before it can move forward, and that's why it's been stalled. I need things to be a certain way, or else I'm just not going to be happy with it, and if I'm not going to be happy with it, then the APD is going to fail. So the main reason why we haven't done anything major over there, or haven't publicly started accepting applications, which we did for a little bit there, but then I was like, you know what, this isn't ready. So we're going to have to redo the application, which is fine, and we are going to have to rework some aspects of it, like the application itself. No, don't. I'm not accepting that invite. But yeah, so the APD will happen, but it has to be right. I need it to be what I want. If it's not what I want, then it's going to fail. And I say that with a fact in my mind. Now, I know people have said that, okay, we got to get on it or else it's going to die. No. The APD, when it gets started, will be one of the biggest police groups very quickly. I have full faith in the ability for the APD to fucking zoom. But it needs to be right. So I can't tell you when it'll be ready, but no, I will be giving the attention that it needs to the areas that I have to give attention so everybody else can do their job. That is going to happen. I just got to finish a few things first. So let's talk about Abyssal Order. That's going to be our roleplay community centered around, well, Abyssals. It'll have the Hapu Yakuza, Hapu Mafia, and Hapu Society will be a part of it now too. Society was originally going to be a secret development group between me and friends for animations. Then it turned into something else, then something else, then something else. So the final way that that group's going to work, I'm going to make it a subgroup within the Abyssal Order. And it will cover the White Clads, it will cover the Lore Keepers, and it will cover the Cultists. 3 roleplay groups that I would like to really get going, but they're a little ways away. They're not going to be a main focus. APD takes precedent over them, but do know I have worked on that. So when it comes to roleplay, there's a lot of things that we've developed we just can't do yet. Whether that's because we're understaffed or certain things are underdeveloped, which, to be fair, for our size and for our activities, we are horribly understaffed. You know, just in VCs, normally we have dozens of people hanging out. In our concurrent events, we have dozens, if not more, coming through. For planned long-term events, we always max out the worlds. They're always fucking crazy. But in general, we have a lot of shit going on and not enough staff. So if you guys are interested, whether that's in moderation or in-game moderation, we call in-game moderation guardians. They're the ones who, you know, handle the raids and so on. But yeah, we need more staff. So if you guys are interested, you know. But Abyssal Order, let's go back onto that. So this is getting a decent amount of attention from myself, and we do have a lot of the systems in place to make most of these roleplay groups work. But there's a lot of development still to be had for, say, the Hapu Yakuza or Hapu Mafia. They need more attention in areas that up until now we haven't been able to give, but we are giving them the attention that they need now. So we'll see how long until those are done, or at least usable. But for Abyssal Order, since that's going to be, in my opinion, one of the most important parts about the community going forward, since it's going to be our center for roleplay and lore, it also needs to be done right. I need it to be almost better than the APD, because what I have planned for it is too big. It's massive. So that's going to take a while, man.
One step at a time.
Exactly.
One step at a time.
That's the thing, because plans are one thing. Shit, the plans that I have for Abyssal Order beat the ever-living fuck out of the plans that I have for fucking APD. So, it's a lot.
Plans for the APD, ridiculous.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
The plans for the APD are fucking bonkers. The plan for Abyssal Order is insanity. But those are things that are planned. Things can change, things will change. So take what we say with a grain of salt, because development is still far from being finished in a lot of respects. So let's talk about the events group. We need more people for the events group, whether it's suggestions or hosts or otherwise. It's a big deal. We want the events team to become a bigger part of us. Now, this is for a few reasons, and we're going to talk about one of the reasons. Shit, I have it written down here really far down, but I'll bring it up too. So the events group, they do a couple different things. If Eslo would actually want to talk about it, I guess that works too. If you want to bring up the events team. If not, that's fine too.
Yeah, so the plan for the events team is at the moment, like for example, the Halloween event is definitely covered under it.
Yep.
Stuff like themed raids, like organizing which day, which avatars would work. And that will then be forwarded to the Guardians for them to finish, obviously. But that will also be planned by the events team. And, well, they'll probably have at least some kind of participation in the RP events too, when we eventually get around to that, but not yet. Because we simply don't have RP events yet.
Yep. We do have the systems, though.
We are currently pretty much 3 active people. Dragon, me, and Ultra. And that's not enough if you want to help with planning, help with presenting, help with taking pictures or the like. Please.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spots open, and even if you want to apply and you're like scared that you will want things of you, provided you don't ghost us for months at a time, you'll be fine.
That's true. We generally don't ask very much.
Work.
Exactly. Everything's voluntary in the end. That's one of the reasons things, of course, take so long, because ultimately everything is voluntary. And, you know, that's how it always should be. But totally, man, we need more people for the events team. As I've said a few times over, we're horribly understaffed for our size and for how many active people we actually have. But we'll talk about another thing. So Crispy's been doing World Hop events. Now, this is something that I originally talked about, shit, I don't even know how long, because this is something we tried a long time ago.
3 or 4 weeks ago.
Well, shit, longer than that, because Crispy's been doing it, but we did some World Hop events way back. And then that was something that just never stuck. There's actually a community long back that did it too. I remember because fucking Rubik was there and some of fucking... Who else was there? Some of the other VR chat devs were in that fucking world. It was a chill fucking place, man. It's a cool fucking group to go around, find new worlds. I forget what they're called. It was so long ago now. It was like a year ago. But yeah, so World Hop events, that's something Crispy's been doing actively, and it's something I would love to make an official mainstay, whether that's part of the events team or otherwise. Ultimately, I think World Hop events are fucking cool, man. Getting to go around, explore new worlds, show off, you know, hey, this is a world that exists. Maybe you haven't heard of it, or, you know, it showcases new worlds, whether it's new, old, awesome, or fucking... dead, you know, it's really cool in my opinion, and it really would complement game day or other events like that, you know. I think that's a sick idea.
It also highlights weird avatars you can find, like
I know, right?
In the world of a weird avatar, nothing else in it. Throw it into the world hops. We had a lot of pictures of Crispy in... I don't even know where to begin. Those are just...
Yeah.
They're jank. If
they
you
do
find
be
funny
jank.
avatars or weird avatars or unique avatars, there you go, world hop. Show up, tell Crispy, hey, I want to show it to you, and everyone will jump with you, and
exactly.
then you'll have a bunch of ferrets and hats looking at Crispy. Ferret in a hat. I believe there's a picture of that somewhere in the events pictures, but I'm not certain.
That's fucking janky. Let's see, what's next? This one gives me a fucking headache because I've been trying to figure out how the fuck to get it working. So, social media group is something that I've been wanting to do for fucking ever, because we have an insane presence here. Every day there's a ridiculous amount of content, pictures or videos made by the Hapus. And, you know, we're not exactly a group that likes to express ourselves publicly, but I really like it from an archival point of view as well. Not only getting to express ourselves in a way that's a little different from how we normally would, but, you know, you can look back on those pictures years later and be like, I remember that. So, social media group is something I really would like to get a few people on. Essentially, you know, we would have guidelines of what you can and can't post, how to interact with people, you know, how to ask people, you know, for permission for their stuff. It's very simple. We would give access to certain portions of our social media, and we would allow Hapus within that group to post pictures or, you know, so on and so forth. It's something I've wanted to do forever, and I basically have it done. Some of the guidelines still need to be there, but it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So hey, if you're interested in becoming a part of the social media team, I would fucking appreciate it. It's simple, you're not going to be asked very much, you'll have very simple guidelines, and you would just essentially be posting to our, you know, Twitter, Instagram, and it's not going to be something that you have to do like crazy. But I would love to have that expression. So if you're interested, send me a direct message. And the next one's Laser Dome. This one's pretty much good to go too. Now that we have the police models, especially now that we have the police models, they're very optimized, very up to date, and we even have a Quest compatible version. So we can make the Laser Dome avatars right now, to be fair, in like 10 seconds. And we can do Laser Dome scrims.
More than that.
Well, no shit, but yeah. So if you're interested in becoming part of the Laser Dome team, send me a direct message. I'm actually cataloging that shit now so I don't forget. And, dude, let's go fuck some other communities up and take fucking top stage as the motherfuckers going pew pew. We need to fucking do it, man. So if you're interested, send me a DM. I know a couple of you already have in the past, and I'll try to keep that in mind. But let's go fuck people up, man. Let's go have fun. Ah, shit, I talked about this.
Try to keep the old applications in mind when you do the
That's so hard to
writing
do.
down stuff.
It's so hard to do because I barely remember
And you have
yesterday.
so many chats, you can't just go through your chats and
Oh
see
my
what
god, dude. If I look at my DMs, holy shit, it's a mess. Quest hunts. We talked about this already. I think I gave a pretty good explanation of that, so we'll skip this. Movie and show. I have this written as viewing parties. I don't know why I have it written as viewing and not watch, but anyway, so this is something that's been suggested a few times, and personally, I'm torn on if this is a good idea or not. But yeah, some people have been wanting events, scheduled events for movies or shows. Inahime posted something about Power Rangers. I forget, but they were doing a vote for a Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
Beats me on that. Fuck, out of all the movies. That's crazy. But that's cool, man. That'll be something.
As far as I'm aware, Inahime was just interested in movies and decided to essentially host a watch-along. And as far as I'm aware, they contacted Ultra as the events team. And Ultra just said, okay, this and this time would it be good if you want to host. Then okay, and now there's a vote. Go vote if you want to watch. There's a unique role for it, etc.
Yep. So
Like,
TLDR of that.
enjoy.
Pretty much. So this is something that I'd already put up role-wise a little while ago, and it was something that I was debating. Movies and shows, I don't know. I don't know how that goes with streaming. I don't know how any of that works. Legality-wise, I have no idea. But, so movies and shows, I don't dislike the idea of there being... I looked into it and I just don't know.
It's not legally allowed to stream movies into public servers. We're private.
That is
We're
true.
invite-based private, but we're private.
We do
Legally,
be a
we're
private
in a gray zone.
community. Huh. I don't know. That's yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that's something that is planned to happen more often. Scheduled movie events, maybe show events, but I doubt it. More so movies. Because how the fuck do you consistently... Anyway, so that's something that's planned for movie viewings. Whether it's a weekly thing, a bi-weekly thing, I don't know. It's something that needs a little bit more thought, but it's going to happen. So expect more random, you know, movie announcements if you have the role. If you don't, go check it out, man. It's in the Roles channel. What
There's
else?
already 56 or 57 people that have it.
I know, right? And it wasn't even announced. Crazy. Fucking, what
And it was
else?
never used up to now.
I know, right? It's true.
Looks like Dream showed up.
Did they?
Um,
Well, I'll keep talking
yeah,
about
Dream
some
is also
stuff.
missing. Okay, real quick, we haven't done anything regarding to that yet, Dream. If you can stick around for a little while longer, we'll probably do a bit after the podcast.
Yeah.
Like when Blaze is done with his stuff.
Yeah.
Showcase, if that's fine with you. Should work out.
Yeah, it'll
I
be
swear, every
fine.
time I turn my setup for the screens, it's broken. It's hilarious.
Let's see.
Alright.
Next
Can continue.
thing,
Just needed to say that real quickly.
bruh. Next thing is promotions, the promotions. So we talked about this a little bit, I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So we did a promotion wave, and some people feel like they got forgotten about. Now, the way that this promotion wave worked, I went in by hand up to a certain level, and I say level, up to a certain rank, and then I went through by hand, checked their stats, so on and so forth, and we went through the system for promotion. Now, I'm not going to talk about how it works, but some of it's stat-based, some of it's not. You get an idea, but I'm not going to go into specifics. While saying that, the first promotion wave that we did a few weeks back, maybe a month back, it was faulty in some ways. Now, not for those who were promoted, but some people were left out because of the criteria, and because I was only looking up to a certain extent, up to a certain role. So the reasoning for this is because we have an automated system up until a certain role that should be doing its job pretty well, and it does do its job very well. The problem is it can only account for so many variables. So if you don't hit certain variables, who knows what happens, right? In the end, it's flawed in some respects, others it's really good. So for the system to work really well, you still have to have a human element. And I will be looking into another promotion wave soon that should resolve that problem. But yeah, that's why some of you might have gotten forgotten. So I'm looking through it, and it's not really a case of being forgotten, because technically it just didn't fit our criteria to be promoted. But that needs to be changed and needs to be looked at, so that doesn't happen again. So while saying that, next promotion wave will be maybe a couple weeks. I'm not sure, because it does take a while to get it all going, because some of it may be automated, but you still have to have a very large human element, so it takes a long time anyway. So there's the Poimotions. The next one is going to be a topic and a half. Where's my water? I'm going to just briefly mention this because it's been, I've been getting a lot of DMs from different communities, and I'm just going to briefly go over this. So when it comes to the Hapu Foundation and other communities, we don't interact with other communities. It's something that we never do and very rarely do, if ever. And that's for several reasons, but recently I've been contacted by multiple different communities. I wouldn't go as far to say several, but I can count as many of them on one hand, so my one hand can count them pretty easily. So my response to that is, you know, I've talked about it with these different communities and otherwise, but for you guys, I wanted to bring it up too. We don't interact with other communities. We don't interact with them in an official sense, official capacity, and we have interacted with other communities in a more off-the-books capacity. But, you know, when it comes to community-on-community interaction, that's not something we've ever been about. Now, we have tried in the past multiple different times to be, what's the word that I'm looking for here? Expression in that, I don't know, expression in that form is not something that we normally do. We like to stick to ourselves. Hapus tend to hang around Hapus, and the TLDR of what I'm getting at when it comes to other communities, you know, the Hapus stand alone. I don't dislike the idea of interacting with other communities, but community-on-community official relations is not going to happen for the most part. Now, we have been inquired by several communities over the past couple of months to do cross-community interactions. Now, I haven't turned down all of them yet, but I have turned down multiple. And ultimately, you know, we're better off alone in most respects. Now, if we find a community that, ideologically speaking, and, well, if they fit our influence, then ultimately we may change our opinions on that. But as it currently stands, there's only a handful, I can't even say a handful, there's only 2 or 3 communities out there that I would ever consider community-on-community relations with. And ultimately, well, our stance officially would be the Hapu Foundation stands alone. We don't want to do community-on-community interaction. Now, I don't want that to stop people from inquiring us about it. I just wanted to put our stance on, you know, how we normally would react or otherwise. Just keep in mind, we don't necessarily feel comfortable interacting with other communities, and I think we're best alone. But again, I'll reiterate, hey, you know, we don't dislike the inquiry. We don't dislike the communication. We love getting to be involved with other communities, just on an official basis of, say, community-on-community events, cross-community stuff like that. I'm a lot more hesitant about. In general, we're more hesitant about it. But you never know what the future may hold. You never know, you know, there could be a fucking ball of a time just around the corner. So there's the TLDR of that stuff. Let's talk about another thing that pissed me off. Well, that didn't piss me off, but this pissed me off. So Sepha's avatar situation, that pissed me off and I wanted to bring it up. Several of us from the council and otherwise gave him audio clips that basically said, fuck off, let him use the model, because it was a really stupid situation. Now, it did spark a pretty good debate within our staff and leadership about what is and what isn't, what should be allowed, what isn't. Now, the raid leaders at the time, they didn't like the model and they said it would be banned for their raids. Ultimately, a lot of us in leadership or otherwise decided that was fucking stupid, because the model in question didn't fit any criteria, really, in my opinion. So when it comes to, you know, those situations, the reason why I'm bringing it up, this goes into something else that I also have written down. Because of that situation, we're actively looking into, well, if that situation happens again, how do we deal with it? What is the standard? Now, this goes into something else. Staff reforms, among other things. Now, I can't go into detail about most of it, but we are actively looking into reforms for the Guardians, for the Watchers, among other things, as more documentation needs to be made readily available for our staff. And as we've been growing, I said this earlier, but we are one of the most active communities that I think I've seen. Not counting clubs or whatever debaucherous bullshit, but in our sphere, there's only a handful of communities as active or more active. And we're pretty low on staff in general. We brought this up several times. But along with that, we do have to pay more attention to our documentation. We have to reform the community in certain aspects and elements, whether that's moderation, in-game moderation, Discord moderation. We're looking into it pretty hard. And this is ultimately for a few reasons, and I can't go into most details, but things are changing internally. And because of those internal changes, the community is going to be a hell of a lot better off. And standardization will become more key. We're going to have, just in general, better documentation for everything, which means less case-by-case situations being handled. And you could look at it more like, say, the U.S. has the Supreme Court. And because the U.S. has the Supreme Court and all of these different laws, well, laws, just like, say, the Abyssal mandates, give direction. The difference here, I guess I could just compare it to the mandates, but nobody really knows how that works but me. So that would be confusing. Essentially what I'm getting at here is...
The comparison is more along the lines of, if we previously had a certain idea of what is expected, it was pretty much from person to person.
Yeah.
It wasn't really written down.
Yes.
Like, if a new person comes in, they learn it from the oldies via text.
A good way to express this would be like tribalism. Back in the way back, so we have written documentation on a lot of things, but we don't have written documentation on a lot of things too. So you could look at it like this. The majority of our staff or otherwise are trained in a sense of, how would I put this? It's information's passed down individually instead of entirely through documentation. Now, it's a 50-50 deal where there's a 50% human element, 50% documentation element, but we need to be better about our documentation. And we've been going, I wouldn't say hard in it, but we do have a lot of people dedicated to extending our documentation, making things better for us, making punishments and other issues more standardized, so we have a better idea of how to handle things in general. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this, even though I feel like it shouldn't be mentioned in general, is because it shows change in the community and shows change in our direction in general. You know, we've been making a lot of changes over the past year, a lot of good changes, and the community itself is growing in a way that is just insane. It's incredible. But with all that growth and all of these different things happening to us, we need to become more organized, more like an actual organization. And that's where a lot of these reforms are going. But hopefully that gives you guys... Damn, acid reflux go brr. But hopefully that gives you a good idea of, you know, what we've been doing and the direction that the community is going in. Hopefully that gives you guys a pretty good idea of the mindset that we're in, the directions that we're going, and some of our developments. Now, there's a lot of developments that I could talk about, but ultimately, not a lot of things have been getting attention. I've been focusing on important shit and myself, and we have been delegating tasks to different staff, so things are happening consistently, and that's pretty nice. Now, let's see. The last thing on the list is the Halloween event, but before we do that, let's see. I've got a bunch of fucking pings and a bunch of messages.
Also, real quick, as funny as it is, and as funny as reading to this chat is, Poicast chat is not memes, is not mute general, and is not chaos, please.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
some restraint, all of you.
Oh, you know what?
I'm not gonna say names because everyone can see them, but that's a lot of posts that have zero consequence or reason.
So I'm going to say a few things real quick. On the note of the thing in moderation, yeah, quarantine roll. God bless. On the note about, where is this document at? Where have I gone? There we go. So, a couple of things to talk about. I just forgot what I was going to talk about. Fuck. What did we just talk about? Oh, I remember now. I was going to talk about the Guardians. I was going to talk about the Guardians. I fucking forgot for a minute there. The reason I got to the Guardians from that conversation was because you were talking about the chat being all messy and shit. So, one of my issues right now with the Guardians, something that actually pisses me off a little bit. Listen, if the council tells you to do something, I don't give a fuck if it's your raid or not, if you're the one leading it. Listen to the fucking council. That's all I gotta say on that note, really. But I think we really need to look into standardizing, you know, Guardians and their activities, which is something we have been looking into pretty hard, in my opinion. You know, in the end, everything is volunteer. In the end, you know, we're doing our damnedest to figure everything out. What we're doing here with the Hapu Foundation, and in general for this community, none of this shit is codified. None of it is like, we don't have anything to base what we're doing off of. Everything that we do is new to us. We're figuring out as we go along. And I'm sure that's the same way with most communities. But the Hapus are definitely unique and different in how we have to do things and how we figure out things. And, you know, we're still figuring things out for the Guardians. We're still figuring things out everywhere. Every day is a new learning experience. And we definitely are focusing more on our experience, the experience of the Hapus, what's fun, what doesn't work, what does. And I think we've been doing a very good job moving in the right direction, and we have been moving in the right direction. Development has taken a pretty big change. We have 2 new avatar worlds up. A lot of developments are actually coming to a close after a very long time. You know, direction-wise, we're doing very well. We kicked the ever-living piss out of those who said we would fail, and look at us now. We're on top of everything, man. This community's been doing fan-fucking-tastic. We have, in my opinion, the best goddamn community in VR chat. And you know, I spend every day around you fuckers. And I know so many of you do as well. This community's been life-changing in a lot of ways, you know? Whether it's for myself or those who have come and gone and those who are still here. And before we end the podcast or move on to, say, the Halloween event, we'll talk about a few things. You know, the community's seen some pretty drastic changes, whether that's ideologically speaking or otherwise. And personally, I think we've done a very good job growing, expanding, and this is in the sense of as a community, not size-wise, because who the fuck cares about size? But while saying that, you know, with all of these great achievements, we've had some setbacks, failures, but in the end, they shouldn't be seen as setbacks or failures. They should be seen as learning experiences. And the reason I'm going off about some of this, well, I have 2 points. The first point is for staff. You know, as we brought up a lot now, we need more staff. And I want you guys to understand, hey, you know, this is all volunteer work. Nobody gets paid for any of that. But I also want you to keep in mind, you know, it's pretty straightforward, man. We don't ask too much. It's nothing spooky. And, you know, direction's given. And if you're interested in any of this stuff, keep in mind it's not complicated, it's not scary, it's very simple work. It's not something that takes days, it's not something that you have to work on every day. It's just like being a part of the community, you know, you don't have to do X, Y, Z. There are certain criteria, sure, but it's pretty straightforward, not work intensive at all. Now the second thing, this community's fucking insane, man. You know, when I created this place, I just wanted a place for Hapus to hang out and do Hapu stuff, you know, a place where anyone and everyone could be accepted. And that's how this place has always been, ultimately. You know, we've always been very accepting, very open arms, just about most people. And I really gotta say, this is an amazing community for several reasons, but we're very accepting, man. I can't tell you, Hapus are some of the nicest motherfuckers I've ever met. You guys take care of each other. You guys are fucking amazing to each other. But it's more than that. I've seen the compassion and the passion of you guys, not only within our community, but those around it. And I guess what I'm getting at here is, hey, you guys make this shit possible. You guys are the spirit of Hapu. Whether it's changed over time, well, that's how everything is. But I couldn't ask for a better community. I couldn't ask for better friends. I couldn't ask for better staff. I couldn't ask for anything better because you guys are fucking amazing. And I felt like I had to express that and say that because, you know, we're entering a new era of the Hapu Foundation. One of organization, one of, well, I can't even just say organization. Shit, man, the Hapu Foundation is nearing a fucking edge. And that edge, what's the right word? Not edge.
A new age.
Well, there's a new age, but there's a different word for it.
I should be audible.
You are. But yeah, we're about to... cusp. Good. That's the word. We're on the cusp of a massive change for the community. Whether that's the implementation of the Abyssal Police Department or otherwise, things are going to be fucking crazy after the new year for sure. As these developments continue on, we're just getting closer and closer and closer to the new age of the Hapu Foundation. You know, we've gone through a few, in my opinion, major milestones that mark a new era for us. And the Hapu Foundation, Abyssal communities, us, it's about time for a new era. I don't know if it's a month away, I don't know if it's 2 months away, but development-wise, I think it's going to happen very soon. I think we're going to see major changes. I think we're going to see a lot of good changes. I think this community is about to go places we never have been before. And ultimately, I'm goddamn excited to see where we go. Goddamn excited to see what happens. Because you know what? The Hapu Foundation is here to stay. We're here to be the Hapu community. In the end, you motherfuckers are fantastic. Let's continue this janky adventure far into the fucking future. Let's cement our place in VR chat history permanently. We're gonna do things, go places, and it's because of you fuckers. Shit. I'll give a poi to that. Now, while saying that,
fine.
Let's get this Halloween shit going. Let's do it. So what exactly do we need to do for this?
I don't know. Can you all confirm that I'm audible
Yes.
on the stream in Discord?
You should be.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. Because if yes, then Daedric and Dream request of me.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Coco. You can't hear me. That is very informative.
But yeah, we'll get this stuff going pretty quickly here, and then I just realized my controllers are about to die. I charged them all night long, man. All night, and it's still like this.
Yours.
I charged them all night,
My trackers
man.
are about to die, but they still have like half an hour, maybe more. We should be fine.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Holy shit, I can't even fucking tell you how many people are watching.
Nope, they timed out.
Jesus fucking Christ. I don't have all the stats, man.
As you did with the other chats. Show the numbers.
10, 20.
Show the funny number.
There's about 30 to 35 watching right now, combined.
Yeah, like in Raid, like in the Riot channels.
Yeah, I could do that, to be fair.
99.
Well, I can also
Go.
just count.
Go, do.
No, fuck that, I can do math.
That
Anyway,
takes time.
well then you can change the fucking channel, or have one of the other staff change it. I don't gotta fucking change. Well,
Watchers don't have that right.
then fucking, not watchers, you have a special goddamn role that should have given you perms. Did I not set up the
It
perms?
doesn't give me anything because it's below the watcher role in terms of coloring.
That's not how that works. But,
No, it's not coloring, but it doesn't
do
give
me
you
a favor and remind me after the podcast and I'll fix your permissions. Who is DMing me? Because I've been DM'd like 4 times.
I have gained an...
Bruh, just sent me. It's been like a fucking year since I've talked to this motherfucker. Why did he just send me a fucking random. He sent me a random picture of myself. What the fuck? Motherfucker just sends me a random picture of me after a year and it's my eyes fucking all open and shit. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, people?
Right as a conversation starter, though.
This has happened to me 3 times in the past month. People I haven't talked to in a year just sending me random pictures of myself. Do these fuckers go on like a fucking convention of Blaze and just be like, you know what? It's fucking time. Time to fucking send him pictures of himself. 3 times in a month. What the fuck does that even mean? Is that a bad omen? I don't know, man. That's fucking crazy. So let's do this.
Are we in Blaze?
Invite only.
Why can't I invite people?
Well, Daedric's right there.
Yes, Daedric's right there. Dream hasn't yet responded, sadly, and
Ah,
I found them in my list, and I can't invite them because the game's going nope. You
Tell
don't
them to
have rights
request.
to use that button.
yeah, just tell him to
Like
request.
if I Dream Theater requests of you, go and allow them in, I guess.
Yeah, if they do.
Like there's no invite button.
Fucking wacky.
It's grayed out. I see the join button, I see the back button. The invite button is just no.
I don't know. Weird.
And no, I'm
I
fairly
guess-
certain that's a different Dream.
I
no.
guess I could fucking put the quest world up. Yeah, I could do that.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, never mind. That works.
Alrighty.
So this is your show now. You can do the whole jazz with the Halloween stuff. Because you know more about
Yeah.
that than me.
It's still your camera, so
Yeah, you know where the frame
don't
is.
move too much.
Sure, Mogo, you can be in here. Why not?
Alrighty then. I'm a bit location locked and can only use in-game movement. And I hope I am hearable good enough because I had to switch microphones. Because of course my microphone screws up 1 hour in. Let's wait for Dream to load in. There they
There
are.
they
Oh,
are.
goodness. When did Mogo come in here? How did Mogo come in here? Mogo, please be off blue.
Technically, yeah, it would be Jarno.
No. It's
Oh
a
God, I got-
spider. Greetings,
I
Mogo.
got a deafen, so I don't get double mic.
Yeah, it's fair. Hello, Mogo.
No worries. Appears the Mogo has also appeared. And is no longer on blue. By the way, what status am
No.
I have no clue.
Sorry, Stingray.
I'm on the orange hood. That makes 2 people.
Yeah, when it comes to invites, keep in mind I'm only inviting either A, higher up staff. What?
Switch
Yeah,
to
whatever.
the
So, anyway, as I was saying, fucking, I'm not accepting invites unless it's higher up staff or people directly involved with what we're doing. Just as an FYI for the, like, 3 people who have requested.
I'm gonna
Alrighty.
need a mirror. I will need a mirror. to show this to you.
We can, follow me.
There's a mirror. There's a mirror over here. Hang on.
Well, there's
Where is
a
the
mirror
mouse?
over
I
there.
don't
What do you mean?
It's well,
Oh,
it's
you
not
mean
professionally
the...
made.
Have fun with that.
What did you do?
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Of course the mirror doesn't want to work.
Yes, it is good.
Ah, jeez. Camera's all fucky-wucky.
Didn't you say you wanted to update the mirrors?
I did, but I think Spidey unupdated my mirrors.
I
I
see.
have it checked to be always on, but it still turns off.
It's
It's
just
fixed in another version.
Alrighty.
Yo, I
I
did
vote
add
you
it.
want to go first?
I did, to be fair. So I don't know what happened with that one. Anyway.
Alright, so will you be able to see the mirror also? Like, turn the camera at some point? Or have an angle that shows the mirror and like this
I would have to, like,
would be good.
I have to do
Like
this.
this way.
You might want to move your camera, Blaze.
Ah.
Sounds like a camera
Here.
move, is it?
I'm sorry. Part of the effect.
There. Does that work?
Alrighty. Essentially just
You can
introduce your model, do it all. So,
Sure.
I can set it up as a, well, you know, just, yeah,
maybe
this is
some
fine.
thoughts regarding it. What you wanted to do with it and stuff.
Yeah, won't take too long to show it off.
Take your time.
Alright. It's fairly
Cool.
freeform as long
Alright.
as you show it off.
Good time. Alright, this is a vampire. So by default, you will show up in both, but you have control over how you show up in the mirror. So now
Oh! I love that.
Gone from the mirror.
That's awesome.
and you can also you mix it up. You can be this way. You can
Ah,
be totally invisible,
I like that.
or in this you can do
Ah,
Angel
sick. Dude, angel mode's sick. Cool.
and angel in reflection. Angel
Yo,
out,
that's
control
fucking
over-
awesome, dude. Holy shit.
You did a lot of with the mirror, huh?
Dude, that's awesome.
Yes,
That's
this
mirror fun.
a lot of this avatar is just messing around with the mirror. You got a little parasol.
Hell yeah. I
And
fucking
she's-
love that.
Does it have a vampire version of the parasol?
Yes, it does. I'm getting to that.
Yo.
It's also a flower.
Hell yeah. That's a fucking dope flower. Dude, that's
Hey, you
cool.
want to smell it?
Fuck it, sure. Smells like poison.
Smells like
What?
blood.
Oh no.
Yeah, the mirror already showed it. That was great.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. You just got duped.
Damn it. That's fucking great.
And yes, there is a dark parasol.
Ah, shit. Dude, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Fuck.
Cool.
Well, hell yeah, dude.
I think this will be a lot of fun if people use it. It's
Hell
public
yeah.
right now. If
Shit.
anybody wants to use it, but
If you want to chuck me the
See how it
IDs, I'll
goes.
throw it up in the world. Looks fucking sick, man. It's fucking top tier.
cool.
Hell yeah. Texture-wise, it
Alright.
looks really good too. Fucking wings look solid.
Thanks.
Yep.
Fucking
Oh yeah, there's
The red
this
looks
crap out of
good.
my hand.
With depth and everything.
yeah.
There's
The eyes look
emissions
good, too.
on the wings, little glows
Ah,
here.
yeah.
Mission on the eyes, halo. There's a little bit of dried blood on my mouth,
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
vampire style.
Yeah, camera
So
won't.
get a little-
Oh yeah, yeah. Show off to the camera. A little bit more. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be subtle.
Hell yeah. They can see the wings and the dress, I think. But hell yeah, dude. The texturing on it's really good. I like the toggles a lot. They're fucking awesome.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
That was the focus. Wanted it to be fun, interesting, and easy
It's
to use.
interesting
Once
as
you
fuck.
actually see it, it's
Mhm.
just like 3 options for reality and then 3 options for the mirror side
Huh.
on 2 halves of the circle.
That's not bad at all. That's pretty fucking straightforward. I like that shit. I mean, fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. The textures look great. The fucking toggles are awesome, man. I love the idea of being able to just fucking be one thing in the mirror. Like the Kermit model, but 20 times better. That's fucking great.
The Kermit one?
The one with the
with
the
like
big,
where it's an e-girl and then a Kermit.
Yeah. It reminds me of that system, but this is 20 times better. But you know what? I don't know if you can beat the Kermit one. That lady Kermit, man.
Eyes of Sauron.
Yeah, the eyes are great. That was one of the first things I saw. Eyes of Sauron's a pretty good touch.
And then like
heavenly blue.
Spacey, university, yeah, something like that.
Hell yeah. Sick, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing.
Hell yeah. Turned out fucking great.
Alrighty. I'll have to take you to the side to take pictures because this will be a a large amount of pictures, but
Anything else?
afterwards. Cedric, if you want to go next.
Let's see it.
Unless I missed something of someone not telling me, Cedric is the only other one who is going to show off. So.
Good, good. Well, that's
ahead.
fine with me. Do we want to keep this angle or a different angle?
I mean, I don't need mirrors or anything. This should be fine.
Okay, good enough.
Alright. Well, I just want to keep the style of the mechas that I've been doing for a while, so that's why
Okay.
the horn to match the others.
Ah. I see, I
I
see.
need to work with like one with a malfunction software since it's Halloween and stuff. So I can toggle fire.
Oh, nice. It do be
and
fire,
see where it
boy.
is.
Hell yeah.
I can
Particles
change
don't
the
look
hue
bad.
of the fire.
Ah, that's actually sick. I like that. Hue change is good. The fire effects look good. Do they interact with your viewpoint at all? Because it looks like a few might.
They show a bit, but not too much. The concentration is here, since my viewpoint's like,
Ah, I see. Okay, so you'll get a little bit. It's not bad though. It looks good.
yeah.
Texture-wise, it looks
You
solid
can-
too.
You can become invisible with the fire behind.
Ah, the dissolve's good. I like the dissolve. Is that Dopplers or Poyomis? I'm assuming Poyomi.
And that's Wyoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good. Good, good.
Oh,
Textures
you
look
can
good
follow the
too.
fire for to follow your right hand, or if you want to follow your left hand.
That'd be fun for roleplay. If I can stick your hand in a fire, ooga booga. Oh fuck.
Then toggle the horns on if you want, or leave it off, or take the horns off completely.
Hell yeah.
Since I want to make like malfunctioning, I took the face off.
Show that one a bit closer towards the camera, maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Oh,
figure
yeah,
that out
that's
right
fair.
now. Here, I got the camera in front of you now.
Camera is floating around wildly. That's basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got it in front of you now.
should be around here.
There you go. Yeah, textures look good, mouth looks good. Now they can actually see what you look like proper. And, yeah, the texturing looks good. The fucking particles look good. What's under the mask looks good, too. I like the horns.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
appreciate it. I put the
Oh,
final touch with the gauntlets.
hell yeah. Got
The
gauntlets.
most important about these is beans.
Beans. They have fucking beans? What? The fuck?
Beans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Giant beans. and it's
Giant beans, dude. What the fuck? That's great.
You know, add a controller. If you want to shoot with it, you can.
Yo. That's awesome. What the fuck?
And then you toggle it off, and then it doesn't happen anything. So you can have the gestures free or with the particles if you want or not.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. That's fucking cool. Oh.
Since people ask sometimes, I put a toggle that you can do the fist and the point and the open hand for the poise.
Hell yeah. That's fucking awesome. I was
Yeah,
just
that's
DM'd
good
something
news.
real quick. I'll bring this up real quick. I completely fucking forgot about that, Coco. I'm gonna be entirely fucking honest with you. I'll look at it after the podcast. Is that ready for posting? And is that the thumbnail? Is that supposed to be the thumbnail and then the thing you sent me supposed to be what goes with it? Okay, cool. I'll look at that after the podcast. Sorry. We'll have a video up pretty quick, I guess. I'm not going to talk about what it is, but that's fucking cool. But on that note, dude, both models are fucking top tier. I like the effects on them, and I hear Spidey groans. What has happened, Spidey? Oh. Well, Spidey has gone into the abyss. Well, while saying that, is there anything else, Puma? Mr. Daedric?
That should be it. I mean, other than the particles of the gauntlets also follow the hue shift.
Ah, that's actually sick. I like that too. The firing's fucking cool. Here.
Oh, that's actually really great.
Yeah, you wanna do another hue shift and then fire again? Let's see it.
Alright.
Hell yeah, dude. I fucking love that. That's awesome. It's fucking so cool. Well, hell, same thing as I said to Dream. If you want that to be public, I'd be more than happy to put it in here. Looks fucking sick, man.
Oh, yeah.
And,
We need a
oh, hell yeah.
island for all your mech.
Oh, yeah. Well, shit, this goes for everybody here, not just you two. You know, if you want your own island or you want your models put in here, just send me the IDs and I'll put them in here. You know, I love having more Hapus for people to use, but something that people tend to forget, you know, there's a fuckload of people who don't have their models publicly available in the sense of a pedestal being down. And a lot of models don't get used because of that. So if anybody wants their models to be public in this world or one of our other worlds, hey, send me IDs. I would be more than happy to host more Hapu models. But while saying that, you know, Daedric showed off a dope model, Dream showed off a dope model, and I know we have a couple others who didn't want to show off their models during the podcast, and I'm sure there's probably more that I'm not thinking of. But this is probably a good time to end the podcast as I'm about to have no batteries, and I also didn't get to eat. So here, I'll put the camera like this. If everybody wants to get in the picture, that's fine.
Why do you keep doing this?
Because fuck you. I forget. I have terrible memory. But, yeah, so we'll get this ended pretty quick here, but I've been messaged so many times, man. How do I even figure this shit out? Oh my god.
You don't.
There we go. Please, no more island, no more polygons, no promises. If people do send me more, I'll probably put them in the random island. But while saying that, hey, this has been a really good podcast. Probably my favorite podcast in a really long time, actually. I really enjoyed this one, and I got to talk about some things that I normally wouldn't talk about or normally wouldn't say. A couple big fuck yous to a couple of people. But anyway, this has been a fucking podcast and a half. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully everybody else has enjoyed it. Thank you guys for showing off the models and participating in the event. Same thing for the others who aren't here showing off their stuff. It's been fucking awesome. Thank you guys for watching the Poicast, and to everybody else, fucking thank you. And poi motherfuckers, it's time to end this shit. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
What?